Alright, here we go. Smoker build part 8. You can see everything's apart right now. I've got the lumber cut for the deck on the trailer. Fenders are off of it. Spent Saturday cleaning that, pressure washing. We've got an attachment for the pressure washer where it's kind of like a sandblast, and where it uses the water pressure to suck the sand up into it. Went over the trailer with that, take all the loose stuff off. Started brushing primer on. Realized that I forgot how much I hated brushing on paint. So that was after about an hour. That's as far as I got. I still have the bottom side of everything to do. So what I'm going to do in the next day or so is fab up a temporary spray booth in here. You guys can see the boards here. We've got a pit for going under the cars to do service work on. There's a little tunnel under the floor that goes up, and that's our exhaust fan there. So we have it set up to where we can pop these boards out, put some filters in, turn the fan on, and we've got a little downdraft for a spray booth if we ever painted a car. We haven't done a car, we've done some garden tractor stuff, but this will probably be the biggest thing to be painted in here. So figure I'll go ahead and get that set up, spray that bad boy out, and then take this guy outside and be grinding on it when that happens. You guys can see, got some finish welds on all the seams from where it was spot welded. Dad decided he wanted to play with his welder while I was blasting on the trailer and grinding all the outside edges of it. We do have the door done. That's going to cover up this front. Don't have the hinges in yet, but as you can see, there's lighter fluid. It was used on Sunday. Smoked a brisket, worked out great. Used actually 3 pans of water, I believe, and it was 2 bags of charcoal, so 20 pounds of charcoal for a 12-hour cook, almost exactly. Another thing we did on Friday was that little lift tab right there is centered on the balance point. So that one lift point will pick the whole thing up, and it's within a ½ inch of level across there when the door's on. The door was factored into the weight. That's why the top remained open for as long as it did, but we've got that on so we can pick it on and off if we need to. Hopefully it stays on more than it's taken on and off, but just in case we need to do any work on the trailer, we've got that. All there is an angle that is running side to side in here, because I've got the tubing here and then the tubing in the center, piece of angle running with the leg going up. This is welded onto it, and then we've got the hole in there for, there's a little bit of tension on it right now, just as kind of a fail-safe for these jack stands, sorry. But this is kind of where we're at. I know Dustin's been talking down in the comments. He wanted an update, so I figured I'd come out here and show you guys. I didn't think a whole lot had happened, but I guess there has been quite a bit. Let me step around all this stuff. You can see where I actually took the axles off of the trailer and did some, that brown is the rusty metal primer because there's so much rust in there. I sanded all of this down. Since you are going to see this, I figure that should have a decent finish on it. But one thing I didn't mention, or I don't think I had mentioned, there's some holes down the frame of the boat trailer, and it's actually for an adjustable axle. So you can unbolt it, slide it back. I believe it's every 5 inches. You can vary the axle position. This is where it was setting. We put the smoker on there. It sets pretty good, so that's probably what we're going to stay with. But we may be able to play around with it. There, you can see them better over there. So we can shift that backwards 5 inches all the way up until it's pretty much at the back of the trailer. But it's sitting pretty good where it's at now. That's probably what we're going to stay with. Need to get a jack for the front. Toyed around with getting a couple RV jacks back here just to level it up, because one issue I had when it was on the trailer, it was sitting a little uneven. I just left it hooked up to the truck since there's hardly any tongue weight, and there was actually water that when it would boil, it was boiling over and down and out the front. So we want to make sure that's level, so we'll probably end up doing some sort of jack in the back just for a leveling system. Ran out of gas on the finish welds, so hopefully in a day or two I'll get that tank, get the paint booth framed up so that this can get primer and paint on it. Then we can bolt these bad boys down and get some wiring on it so it's street legal. Then I've got to go through the licensing and all that fun stuff the state of Ohio makes you do. But that's kind of where we're at. I hope this answers any questions anybody's had. Talk to Dustin in the comments. But if you have any questions, you guys need anything from me, I know you put money into some materials, and 70 Kirkster has deleted his videos. If anybody's got any comments, I can go over some of the stuff more in detail, because I know I skimmed over it. Was kind of going to let you guys go back and look at his stuff, but since he took it down, I'll be more than happy to go over it in detail. Just leave a message down below. Thanks for watching.